Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Latinaly podcast. It has been some time. I took a hiatus. I keep taking them. I have been sick for the last 2 months. I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing that. I'm tired of saying it. We caught flu A and flu B within a week of each other. So I haven't had a talking voice in like a month. So then, in the middle of all of that, I've been nursing my children back to health. My daughter was in the hospital overnight. My son, I am tired. I'm tired. Life has really been a lot of things. It really has. I have to tell you, I don't know if it's good. I don't know that life is good right now. That sounds depressing because it is. It is. Life is not good right now. And that doesn't mean that it'll always be that way, but yeah, no, it's not good. And that's okay because it will pass. Yeah, it will pass because it has to pass. That's not to say I haven't had beautiful moments. That's to say that a lot of the moments that I have had are very trying, testing, upsetting, and depressing. But you know what? It moves on and it's going to move on and it's going to be okay because I have a talking voice. So that means I am back. And I have decided to stop putting a limit on myself of giving you hour-long podcast episodes. We just started the Just Between Us mini series that I have created, and it's doing really well. The episodes are about a minute, and so I really want to just give you the information quickly. I want to give you long episodes, short episodes. I want to get to the damn point, y'all. Okay. Shorter episodes mean more episodes. So now we're going to have our main episode on Wednesday and then Just Between Us every Friday. So giving you a little bit more, which I love. And I will add this as a separate component to our playlist, and you'll be able to find everything in one place. Very, very exciting because I've been down so bad. Because of my voice, I haven't been able to do anything with this show, and that makes me really depressed. So I'm very happy to be back. And I've been thinking about something lately, and I really wanted it to be the main topic of today's episode. And I was thinking about it because I think it's really interesting. Have you ever noticed that there are people who were once so present in your life? Could be a best friend, a relative, what have you. And then suddenly you never see them again. You don't bump into them at a restaurant. You don't really see them too much on social media. They're just kind of off the grid. And if you do see them on social media, you don't really know anything about them anymore. And it's almost as though this person has become kind of an enigma to you. But more than anything, you never run into them again, even if you live in the same place. I used to think that that was kind of a coincidence. I kind of thought that, okay, the reason why we were so much in each other's lives is because we just were convenient and comfortable with each other. We made the effort to communicate and talk to each other and call and go on dates and meet up and catch up, you know. And when they kind of leave your life, you go, okay, maybe I'll run into them at the store one day. And then when you never see them again, you're like, you know what? They're probably busy. Schedules change, people move around. But the older I get, and I'm learning that what actually is happening when someone's cycle in your life is over, you will never see them again. Not by coincidence, not by chance, not by fate. When their purpose in your life is fulfilled, they are gone. And I think it's because there are some people that are tethered to certain versions of ourselves in certain moments of our life. And the moment that their purpose in your life is over, it's a very soft exit. It's a graceful separation. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the overall separation was graceful and soft. Sometimes things get very ugly. But when this person's time in your life is up, that's it. It's up. It is done. And that tether that they have to you is disappearing. And it's important to recognize that this disappearance of any sort of connection that you have with this person is incredibly necessary to who you're becoming. There's a reason why you don't run into them at the store. There's a reason that you do not see them online anymore. These are people who no longer fit into this new version of yourself. Their purpose is served. That's it, it's done. And oftentimes I find that these relationships were ones that had to end. These are not lifelong friendships that have to be in your life forever. These are not the lifers. These are not the soulmates that we're talking about. This is one of those relationships that is incredibly eye-opening, that is kind of canon. Not for nothing. It's a relationship that, no, you probably didn't want it to end, but it had to. And because it ended means that it was meant to. And sometimes these relationships come in periods of your life where you were in survival mode, where your standards were lower, when you were more available, when you were more tolerant, more accommodating, a little bit more of a doormat. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I have been there. I've done that. But I'm saying that it is what it is. And when you start changing for real, not just saying that you want better, but actually moving with intention, you outgrow habits, you outgrow environments, and with that, you outgrow people. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be this dramatic fallout. Sometimes nothing happens. This is the outgrowing of each other. That's when people say, we just outgrew each other. We just kind of phased out. No argument, no big ending, no bitterness. You just stop crossing paths. It falls out, it disappears. And sometimes you can have a bit of an interaction with them. And I don't mean that you physically see this person, because I believe that once their cycle is over in your life, you will never see them again by chance. But maybe someone you know ran into them. Maybe you started following each other on socials. Maybe, you did talk to each other in your DMs, but it's off. It's entirely off. It's like talking to a ghost of someone that you used to know, because at the end of it, I think that you're both different, because you don't know them and they don't know you anymore. It's almost as though once this cycle of them being in your life is over, everything just changes, and you can feel it. The distance, you can feel the disconnect. You can feel that you are incredibly out of sync with a person that you used to have incredible synergy with. It just happens. And it's because you're not the same and they're not the same to you either. And I think that's something that no one ever really talks about, because we don't always hear about receiving closure in a conversation, like where you sit down and you talk to a person and you receive closure. Sometimes it comes with just distance. Sometimes you have to give yourself that closure. And sometimes it's realizing one day, I haven't seen this person in years. And I'm okay with that. My life kind of just kept moving. Not every connection is meant to circle back. Some people are chapters. Some people are supporting characters in your story that are kind of just there for a moment, and they're not meant to be there for a lifetime. And if you never run into them again, maybe that's not something to question. Maybe it's not something that you need to fix. Maybe that's just the proof that this cycle that you had with this person is officially over, and it doesn't need to be revisited again. So I think I'll end it there. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Latinaly Podcast. And you can watch us on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify and everywhere else you get your podcasts. I am Kaya Burgos. This is the Latinaly Podcast, where we are untamed, uncensored, and always unapologetic. And I will talk to you next week.